Hello and welcome to Kipcast. I'm your host, Minato Mudkip, pronouns he, him. Who are you people?
Uh, I'm a seaside chandelier. Pronouns she, her.
I'm Madeline, something of a maid of Lynn, pronouns she, her.
Alright, and if you're new to this podcast, this might seem normal, but if this is your second episode, you'll notice that one of our hosts isn't here. Um, you'll also notice that this isn't actually the game that we're supposed to be reviewing. A lot of things came up, so we're gonna actually be talking about Kirby Super Star Ultra for the Nintendo DS. Um,
Yes, I
yeah,
I couldn't finish Golden Sun on time, so I we all agreed to play a short game for this episode. I apologize, and also for our fourth host member, uh, he has to visit his family for a event, so he'll be missing for this episode.
right. So, next episode we will definitely talk about Golden Sun. This is just kind of let's just call it a
Yeah, it's
side
episode
quest.
1.5.
Uh,
Yeah.
right.
Yes. I I apologize again for not starting Golden Sun on time. I can't promise to finish it, but I'll play as much as possible for next episode.
Cool.
All right. Well, let's jump right into the game, shall we? So, story. Just I mean, it's your typical Kirby story. DDD stealing all the food. Meta Knight's like Dreamland's too lazy. I gotta kill it. And then cosmic horror.
Yeah, yeah. I do find the Revenge of Meta Knight a little bit funny because it it just seems like Kirby just coming out of nowhere to like destroy Meta Knight's ship.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like obviously something had to have happened because Kirby doesn't really act on anything unless either he's woken up or he doesn't have anything to eat. So,
That that's the other thing with Meta Knight's Revenge. Like other time, Kirby go against some big army or big like bad baddie that's tried to destroy the world or something. But with Meta Knight's Revenge, Kirby's like already winning from the beginning. You can already like hear up those characters talking about how they're losing
Hmm.
the whole way through. You're
I
basically playing you on that one. I just feel like you're playing the final boss and the good. Of course, they're not the good guys. They're still like the antagonist, but
That's a
still.
funny way of looking at it.
yeah, Kirby is definitely a force to be reckoned with, and
Yeah.
honestly, I'm kind of glad that they
Hmm.
recognize it in that game. Um,
Yeah.
but then again, Meta Knight isn't a force to be reckoned with either. Considering if we, I mean, since it's kind of canonical, but in Meta Nightmare's Revenge, or not Meta Nightmare's Revenge is in the Kirby Mirror. This is just Meta Nightmare Ultra. He actually destroys the most powerful warrior in the galaxy. Um,
Huh.
yeah.
Ah.
Again,
Mm.
complete not canon in the Kirby lore, but it just happens in the game. So
That that's funny because they bring out Meta Knight's ship like every time everywhere else though. Like I'm pretty sure they brought it up on different Kirby games and they even brought it up in Super Smash Bros. It's like well known stage in Smash Bros.
yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about like there's there's a certain level in Superstar Ultra where you get to play as Meta Knight, and it's kind of you just get to run through all the levels that you played through as Kirby, and at the end, um, like in Milky Way Wishes, you get to play you playing as Kirby trying to wish that the sun and moon stop fighting, and then Marx just comes in like beats you up, and it's just like I wish to be powerful. Meta Knight wishes to be the like fight the strongest warrior, and he fights Galactonite, and
I did not know that. I didn't know you could play this game as Meta Knight. I probably should have done some research on it.
Yeah,
I feel you.
Yeah.
But
I was just gonna say, yeah, I did Milky Way Wishes, and I was like, yeah, I completed the game. I'm ready for the review. And then I saw the second 2 stages afterwards pop up, and I was like, oh.
I mean, I got so much more out of the other parts of the game, like King Dedede's Revenge and Meta Nightmare Ultra, because I guess it was a bit harder than the Kirby mode. In Kirby's, you're just like taking it slow and easy, and but in Meta Nightmare, you're not on a timer, but like there's a clock timing you how fast you get through the levels, and it's basically trying to speed through as quickly as you can.
Yes. Actually, I should have asked this earlier, but which version did you guys play? I myself played Superstar Ultra for the DS version.
Yeah, me
I
too.
played the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's important to establish that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
from now on, we should probably establish which version of the game we're playing if there's a multiple version.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then there's like an entire section we skipped over, the Great Cave Offensive, the worst Super Smash Bros. Stage.
I forgot that was a Smash stage. Other than that, it's probably the worst one out of all, in my opinion.
You think so? I found it pretty fun. There was a lot of puzzle solving associated with with it.
Oh.
I don't hate puzzle
Yeah.
solving. I like it, but my problem was that it just felt like a little bit longer Kirby stage than a whole part
Yeah.
connected together.
Yeah, it was kind of shoehorned in the game, but it was fun collecting all the treasures, and like I found like the Triforce and a screw attack, and I was just like, huh, what are these doing here?
I thought it was. Sorry.
I think I found some DK barrels, if I remember right. How about you, C? Did you find anything?
Yeah, I found the Triforce. That was like the one that stuck out most to me. And when I saw like the price tag of like 800,000 gold, I was like, I did well for myself.
That's not its actual value. The Triforce should be priceless.
So free.
I thought overall, like that stage, yeah, I agree with you, Madeline, where it was like, it felt like a little longer. I thought it was like, yeah, interesting. It was fun, like going around, like trying to solve various puzzles, or looking at a puzzle I couldn't solve and going, I'm too dumb, so I'll save this for later.
Same. I guess it's not the worst, it's just my least favorite out of all. I did have fun with it, though.
Well, that's a good question. What is your least favorite? C?
It's probably, I'm not gonna lie, probably the same one.
Okay,
The
interesting.
cave.
I mean, my personal least favorite was Spring Breeze, just because it was so easy, and it is supposed to be an introductory like Kirby level and everything, but
that's the thing, it's introductory, so I have to forgive them on that. They have to let you get used to the control. Of course, if you're not a beginner, or if you played Kirby games before, you're gonna have an easy time, but I just can't seem to hate it. It's just a same as the perfect easy Kirby stages.
But in this game, it locks you off from the rest of the game until you play it. I think in the original version, if at the very beginning of the game, you just have everything unlocked. You don't have to play Spring Breeze. You can like start at any point you want.
That sounds nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Um,
But
usually
there was a lot added to this game compared to the original. Like in this game, there's 3D cutscenes.
I remember.
Yeah, they added a.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, like, I remember, like, while watching one of the 3D cutscenes, like, I think it was with the bird stage after I defeated the boss, and like Kirby was dealing with like the little hatchlings, and he was pushing the nest. For some reason, I was heavily reminded of VeggieTales. Just there was like a specific part about the 3D that just suddenly reminded me of VeggieTales for some reason.
At that moment, I thought Kirby was just going to massacre all the birds. Like he fought I think the bird's name is Dynablade, but he fought Dynablade and then he just walked over to all these birds and I was just like, oh no, Kirby, no. They're babies, no. But
honestly, same. I thought he was just gonna suck them up and eat them. But I hate those baby birds design, not gonna lie. They have the same exact design in the Kirby anime, and I hated the little ugly baby.
Have you not seen actual baby birds before?
I've seen actual baby birds before. The real life one, they're fine. I think they're cute. But the Dynablade's baby, on the other hand, just ugly. They should have just done a better, cuter design for it.
Alright. Well, a few other things they added in this version. They added a few more mini games. Did you all happen to play the mini games at all, or did you just not touch them?
They're mini games. I never touched them.
I looked over and I thought this would probably be fun to play with my sibling and like on my actual DS instead of on an emulator.
Yeah.
I mean, I played them alone and I had a bit of fun, but yeah, it definitely would have been more fun to play with a friend instead of a computer.
Yeah, those are definitely designed for multiple people.
Right. And then we completely forgot about one, Gourmet Race. Honestly, best track of music in the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's great transition into music. What did y'all think of the music of this game?
Yeah.
I like the music. They're memorable.
A lot of the music was just remixes of old Kirby tracks.
I was wondering if that was the case.
Yeah. Well,
it is.
Well, that makes sense. The old Kirby tracks are just straight up good anyway, so of course they're gonna make a remix of it.
I'm gonna be honest. I never played Kirby when I was like a little kid, so like whenever I was hearing certain tracks in this game, like I know I played one of like the first Kirby games because I emulated it, but while playing this game, listening to certain tracks, I was like, oh, I remember this from Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Same.
And honestly, that kind of lets me I kind of want to talk about like Sakurai's influence on Kirby and just, I mean, a lot of the older Kirby's in Smash, but not the newer Kirby. I personally don't care about that, but like a lot of Kirby fans feel like he's misrepresented. Because I see so much of Superstar Ultra and Smash, but there isn't much else.
I can't really say so either way. Like I mentioned, I didn't play a lot of Kirby as a kid, and so I played Brawl first. So I can't really say either way, but I do agree that I see a lot of this game in Smash. Like, I see where you're coming
Talking about Smash in this game, I've noticed for the 3D cutscene for Revenge of Meta Knight, they used this for his ship. They used the same model from Super Smash Bros.
Oh, did they? Is it
Yeah,
the same model?
I didn't like fact check it, but I'm pretty sure it's the same one. It just looks
Okay.
exactly the same. Like even like the middle, like the top middle part looks like the you know how like in the Meta Knight ship stage in Smash you land down on middle of it to fight, like on the ship to fight.
Yeah.
Well, that part was shown in the cutscene, and they wouldn't remake that part if it was just used for 3D cutscene. So I feel like they reused the one from Smash.
I see.
from.
Yeah. So, what would y'all say your favorite track is in this game?
Honestly, just the
Just Gourmet
trace. Nothing can beat that.
But honestly, the Meta Knight's Revenge, the music at the very beginning of that is like, oh yeah, it's really good. It hits you with the full brass at the very beginning, and then it's just really good. It captures that moment perfectly of you attacking that giant ship. And
yeah, that's basically your boss battle music, but you're the boss.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
let's see
here. So, favorite... Hello? Okay, sorry. I was worried that the call cut out or something. But I was going to ask, so we talked about least favorite stages. Do y'all have any, stages that are your favorites?
Yes. So, my personal favorite is the one y'all didn't play. I love playing as Meta Knight, as opposed to Kirby. He moves around a lot quicker. He doesn't hit like Kirby though, so that's his downside.
So he's not just like Sword Kirby?
He is like Sword Kirby, but you know how Kirby can suck up enemies and copy them?
Yeah.
Yeah, Meta Knight can't do that. And from what I played as both Kirby and Meta Knight, whenever Kirby sucks up something and then blows it back at the enemy, that deals more damage than the sword, which is the same as Kirby's sword ability, but you're just constantly stuck with the sword. You can't really use anything else.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, playing as Meta Knight seems just like playing Sword Kirby and stuck as Sword Kirby.
Yeah, it pretty much is. There are a few things that are different, just control wise. And then I mean, so it's very minor. Whenever you do the down hit, he doesn't bounce off the enemy, he goes straight into it. But
really?
That's the only thing I can really think of. He can also heal at any time, because in his version of the stage, you collect pellets from each enemy, and then the pellets basically let you do a few things, like summon a partner, make you faster, heal you, and then there's a screen clearing attack that you can do.
I really should have played that version.
Yeah. So, what was y'all's favorite stages?
I'm trying to think of it. I was trying to think of it while you were telling us about this stage that we didn't get to. Um,
I
yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I guess I'll
Yeah.
go then. My favorite's gonna be Dynablade stage. But first of all, it's not the easiest one. It's probably the second easiest, and I don't. It seems like something that I could just replay over and over again, which I
Oh.
actually did as a kid. I never owned the game as a kid before, but I always hanged out at my friend's house who owned the game, and every time we hang out, he'd let me borrow like his DS and his Superstar Ultra, and I always play the Dynablade
Mm-hmm.
stage over and over again. So that's like the only stage I remember. Of course, because I only played that stage over and over again, I never get to
Mm-hmm.
experience Cave or Meta Knight's Revenge on his DS. So when I unlocked those
Mm-hmm.
were new to me.
Let's see.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like, yeah,
What
I
about you,
feel
C?
like, huh. I like the one where you storm the halberd. I like seeing, like, Meta Knight and his soldiers just sort of talking while I go around destroying the halberd, just seemingly sort of getting into every place without, like, really thinking of a plan. I don't know. That was cute. I also liked Milky Way Wishes. I thought the idea of like looking for permanent. Oh my god, hold on, English is failing me right now. Uh, the power ups, right? Finding permanent power ups. I thought that was really fun, and though I didn't go back to like look for every single one of them, like I'd be interested in doing that. You know what I mean?
I actually did that, and it was pretty interesting.
Permanent power ups. That's yeah. I played enough to know about those, and man, it. I guess the good thing is I can just turn into them whenever I want to. But the hard part was that I couldn't. I could never find the one power ups that I'm actually used to or actually like using. Like, I prefer using. My favorite one is probably the yo-yo power ups because it lets me attack like pretty far away, well, both like downward and upward, forward and back. But other like ranged attack doesn't do as well. So I was looking for the yo-yo power ups, but I couldn't find it. So I just had to challenge myself to either use normal Kirby or one of the power ups that I happened to find.
All right. C, what's your favorite power up? That's a
Yeah. So
good
let's see
question.
here. I know before I used to really like the laser one, and I thought the sword power up was really cute. Um, let's see here. Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out something on my.
Oh yeah, I love the mirror power up
Mirror.
too.
Is is that the one where he looks like a mage, but he shoots out like
Yeah, it
crystal
is.
instead?
It is. And if you dash, he does the split attack where he splits himself in two.
He splits himself in two.
Yeah, you run
I
and
did
then you
not
press
know.
B and like you split in two. It's really cool.
My how I missed so much of this game. Maybe I should have played it earlier. I promise I'll not try not to do this kind of stuff last minute.
Okay. Um, that's another cool thing about this game. Like each power up, there are specific power ups that let you move different ways. Like the mirror and ice power up kind of let you skate around, and then the wheel power up's obviously really cool. Um,
Well,
my one of my personal favorites that I've found myself using throughout the game was the hammer power up, just for like sheer damage output, and I could do a lot with the hammer, just um,
honestly,
spinning
yeah.
and everything in the air,
Uh,
and then another one of my favorites, like when I was younger, just was the sword because swords are cool. Uh,
I see.
Speaking of when I was younger, I did something stupid with this game when I was younger. Um, so whenever I would hang out with my friends, we'd usually trade games, and that one time I happened to trade Kirby Super Star Ultra for Lego Harry Potter years 1 through 4. I never saw my friend after that, so I was just stuck with a copy of Lego Harry Potter years 1 through 4. And I was really sad. So I was happy to get my hands on a copy again.
Oh.
So yeah, I gave away my copy of Superstar Ultra.
So did you buy it?
I'll go ahead.
That's a sad story. I let my friends borrow my games before, but I'm glad none of them stole it.
It wasn't stolen. I just moved and I didn't really see him again. So
This reminds me. Yeah.
I'll never forgive my younger self for
Well,
that.
was Lego Harry Potter fun? Okay.
Oh yeah, it was super fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Like, hearing that story reminds me of how in 3rd grade, I had a friend who was, like, gonna move away, and he had a Chimchar card, and I had the Winged Dragon of Ra, so I traded him for that Chimchar, because I like Chimchar. But I had,
honestly, if you like Chimchar, it's worth it.
Yeah. I had, like, 3 copies of the Winged Dragon of Ra anyway, so it's not like I was gonna miss it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense.
I almost stole a game from my friend. So him and his brother had like copies of Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I borrowed Heart Gold, kept it with me for like 8 months.
Oh my god.
And then they suddenly have to move back to their country, which was Bangladesh. And I liked Heart Gold so much that I thought about just like, not giving them back because they didn't remember. But in the day before, they're like 2 days before they were leaving, they invited us to a goodbye parties, and I decided to give it back to them because I felt bad about keeping it.
Well, that was
so
nice
I almost stole it, but I never did.
Well, here you have it, folks.
Yes.
Lynn is a good person.
I agree.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a good person.
I'll be sure to print you a badge for that.
Alright, well, yes. Well, overall, what did y'all think of the game?
Overall, the game is fun.
Yeah.
It's a replayable, especially with Meta Knight, based on what you said. I might play it again after this.
I agree.
Alright, so what would y'all rate it?
I'm terrible with rating things.
May I go first?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll rate it 7.5 out of 10. It's one of those perfect Kirby games for everyone. Anyone can play it. If you have a DS or a 3DS, I recommend picking up Superstar Ultra. But probably not now because game is going through like some expensive.
Yeah.
Video games are expensive right now, but once the price goes down, I recommend picking it up. If you don't have a DS, then I recommend the SNES version. I know it probably has less stuff in there, but it's like good enough and similar amount of fun, most likely.
Right. I mean, they wouldn't remake it if it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, yes.
I would personally give it a 6 out of 10. I'm not that big of a fan of Kirby games. They're fine. It's just not really for me. I enjoy playing them, just not as much as I would something else. It's like comfort food, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's see. I would give it Yeah.
And this just happens to be a really good thing of comfort food.
Hmm. Okay. I think I would give it a 7 out of 10. I probably would have, or maybe even 6.5. Because I keep thinking about how, like, it would have been fun to play with my sibling on, like, the DS. So I probably would have, like, rated it higher if I had it, like, instead of emulated it. And if my sibling had a copy so that we could play together because we like playing co-op multiplayer games. Hmm.
Uh, honestly,
Mhm.
yeah. I wish I could have played this with someone else too.
Yeah.
So I was
Mhm.
actually reading up on that. Um, Whenever you do two players, the other
Mhm.
DS it just works as a controller. It's not an extra screen. So
What? What do you mean?
that would
Wait,
be really uncomfortable to play
wait.
like
Like,
that.
Yeah.
like, so it's still
Yeah, it just
what?
the other person's DS essentially just becomes another controller for
That's
your
really a
DS.
choice. Okay. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we'll just go with a 7 out of 10 on the emulator. Everything is fine and dandy. If I was
Yeah.
tech savvy and could figure out how to get my emulator to, like, do that, I feel like it would have been better because I'm just looking at it on my laptop screen. But, like, doing that for DS, the DS is so small.
Yeah.
Well, I have a 2DS XL,
Mhm.
so if I played it on there, I could have had a
Yeah.
good enough screen for it.
Yeah.
Slightly
So,
bigger.
Mhm. I have a 3DS XL too, but I just like the laptop's like way bigger than like even a 3DS XL.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Also, I was using a
Alright.
controller for it.
Well,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
that's the end of the game talk. So what have you all been playing recently?
So if you guys noticed, Miitomo came out
Oh
recently,
yeah.
and
Miitopia, yeah.
Miitopia, not
Miitopia.
Miitomo, Miitopia. Sorry, and I honestly don't care about adventure part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just loving the character creation of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been making my favorite characters into it.
Aw.
I know other people made it
Mm-hmm.
already, but instead of you know getting them from their account, I just prefer to make it on my own.
Mm-hmm. I had Miitopia for the 3DS, and I remember like whenever I first played Miitopia, because I had Tomodachi Life before that, and when Miitopia came out with like, oh, people can have like, um, unnatural like hair and eye colors, and you don't need to keep dyeing their hair. I was like, that's so neat. I can finally make anime characters with like green hair or blue hair. Um, but I didn't get Miitopia for the Switch because something that really irritated me about the original Miitopia was that like all the other Miis on your party were controlled by like AI, and I hated that so much because I like controlling like all the characters. But looking at like Miitopia, like wow, there's so many customization options.
Uh, honestly,
Hmm.
I actually like how the AI controls your characters
Yeah.
because it, you feel like you're watching like someone else like those characters do on their own.
Yeah.
That's why I even like turn on AI mode for my own character.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there are RPGs out there where I definitely wish that I get to control all the characters on the party,
Mm-hmm.
and if they don't let me, I it just bothers me too much.
Mm-hmm.
But Miitomo is like the one of those few exception where I prefer that the AI controls it because it's not a serious RPG.
Mm-hmm.
There's like no one has a hard time with this.
Yeah.
You just let the character do all the fun stuff.
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective on it. Hmm. So, what about, yeah?
I
Hello?
oh I
Mm-hmm.
haven't really been playing much recently. Just a lot of Golden Sun and Kirby
Mm-hmm.
Super Star Ultra. I picked up the Nocturne remaster
Ooh.
Shin Megami Tensei. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's it's definitely Atlas like Atlas. Come on, stop it with the day one
Mm-hmm.
DLC.
I won't blame Atlas for the.
But other
Uh, I know they have Dante in there, but I don't think that's Atlas's fault that that became a DLC. I feel like
yeah,
Capcom might have just forced him to pay for it, so they have to make a DLC to make the money for it.
I just want to play.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see Dante. But Raido's pretty cool too. I haven't played any of the Devil
Mm-hmm.
Summoner games, but he's pretty. He has a cool
Mm-hmm.
design.
Let's see.
Um, what about you, C?
I've
What
been
have you been
spending
playing?
like a lot of time doing stuff IRL, or like drawing or scrapbooking, so I haven't really played anything besides like the games for this podcast and gotcha games.
Fire Emblem Heroes, maybe?
I actually hate like I loved Fire Emblem Heroes in the beginning, but then like it just got like I wasn't into the whole monthly like pass, and then like they kept coming out with characters I didn't care about, and I was like, this game takes up too much room and I care more about Fate Grand Order, so I'll go ahead and uninstall it.
Honestly, that's fair. 2.5 gigabyte is kind of really big for a phone,
Yeah.
especially with mine, which only has 8 gigabytes of space.
I'm really thankful my phone's like big enough to like have FGO and then like fit other games on it, like Time Princess, which I downloaded exclusively to simp for the Phantom of the Opera. Listen. Mhm.
So have the Gotcha Gods been
The
in your
Gotcha Gods have
favor?
been in my favor only in Cookie Run. Everywhere else, they hate me.
Hmm. I never pay for Gacha. Never pay for the Gacha God.
I
don't believe in him.
only pay like it was only in one game, but like I refuse to like whip out my wallet for like Heroes and then FGO, even though Summer Carmilla is coming out in like August or so, and I desperately need my vampire wife, but like I'm sorry, I'm such a mess. But yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Actually, I have a question for y'all.
Yes.
So,
Go
this
ahead.
not including video games,
Mm-hmm.
what geeky or nerdy stuff you guys been up to recently? Here's my example. I've been playing a lot of Dungeons and Dragons with my friends, and yesterday I even played a tabletop called Cyberpunk Red.
Yeah.
And I've been having so much fun that I decided to start learning to be a dungeon master.
Oh, nice.
I even picked up Player's Handbook and Dungeon Master's Guide today. I'm ready to learn about it to become a dungeon master.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I've been rereading Berserk since Kentaro Miura's passing.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Oh my word, it's honestly amazing what he drew and just the story that he's created. I don't think anything can compare to it.
Honestly,
really.
it's if you're an artist, you should study his work.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's a lot of gore in it, but if you can handle that, I recommend studying his work. It's really interesting whether you want to copy his art style or not.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Nerdy things I've done. I mean, like, what category of nerd are we talking here?
I guess nerting is a broad thing,
Yeah.
so anything goes.
Okay. Well, shout out to the literature nerds. I'm rereading The Phantom of the Opera. Like, if you haven't, if you couldn't tell, I'm obsessed with it. I've like interacted with like 15 different like versions of it, and I can tell you like my opinions on each of them. I'm such a mess.
Hmm. My opinion on them is that
Mhm.
I don't know what that is actually.
Yeah. Do you know the musical with the guy who has like a
I
white mask?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
I don't know anything about it at all.
I mean, we could sit here for an extra hour and I could give you a lecture. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that to you.
that'll be for next time.
It'll be episode 1.75.
Since Lynn doesn't like Golden Sun,
Mhm.
we could probably just instead talk about Phantom of the Opera.
There,
Listen,
Nah,
no,
that,
listen. I'll play the game and I'll bring out all the hate for this game next episode. Or I don't know. Maybe I'll end up liking it.
Mhm.
okay, all right. Well, I'd say that's a pretty good place to end. Is there anywhere people can find you if they want to see what y'all do, or
I'm active on Twitter. If you guys want to find me, you can follow me on Twitter, Madeolin, at Madeolin, MADEOFLYN.
Aw. Maybe we could put a link to your Twitter in the description for this whole podcast.
Oh, that's a good idea.
yes?
Let's see. Y'all can
Oh.
find me nowhere. I'm sorry, I'm very shy.
I mean, if you really want to follow me, I'm not active on Twitter, but you can follow me at Minato Mudkip. Or you can find me here at Kipcast. But anyways, next
Yes,
time Golden
finally.
Sun.
I'll make sure to finally play it.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.